There are these 4-character expressions in Chinese called Chengyu, and there are over 20,000 of them in the entire language. Most of them are found only in written text or formal speech. But a select few, however, are used all the time in daily life, and I'm going to teach you 8 of the most common and useful ones so that you can impress native speakers and level up your Chinese right now. Hi, if you don't know me, my name's Neale. I lived in China for over a decade, speak Mandarin fluently, and created Mandarin Blueprint with my business partner Phil Crimmins to fix the broken Chinese education system once and for all. Our online courses are helping thousands of members reach advanced Chinese in a fraction of the time. So let's jump into the first Chengyu, 理所当然. So this character Li has inherently got the meaning of logic or reason, and you could see it as the shortened version of the full word for reason, 道理. Dao means way, combined with li, it's the full word for reason. So you could say 有道理, that has reason, that makes sense. So for example, 这份奖学金, this scholarship, 是他应得的, is rightfully his. It's something he should have won. And then you can just add on the end, 理所当然. As a matter of course, obviously, it's logical, it's naturally assumed that this would have happened. Hi, if you would like all of the Chengyu, the expressions used in today's video in a nice PDF, as well as all of the audio examples, male and female, studio quality, real audio, not AI, go ahead and click the link in the description and download them right now. The next Chengyu that I want to share with you is one that will come up very often. It's 想方设法. So the characters for this are think, 想, 方, method, or 方法is the full word for method, and then 设 means to set up, and then 法 is another word for method also. The meaning of this one is to think of every possible method, or to devise ways and means. So if you ever want to emphasize the creativity, determination, resourcefulness in solving some problem, and you want to convey the effort and persistence in getting something done or overcoming an obstacle, then you're going to want to use this Chengyu. 为了完成任务, in order to finish or complete the mission, 我们必须, we must, 想方设法, think of every possible means. The next Chengyu is 一目了然. So 目 is eye, or it can also be used to denote the idea of glancing or looking at something. And yi, of course, is number 1 in Chinese. So it's one glance, 了然. Now, as a beginner, you might see this character and think it's le. It's actually pronounced liao in this context. And it has a very different meaning of sort of to understand, to realize something. And ran is a very common, rather old character that signifies the way something is. So 了然 literally means something is clear. So you'll use this Chengyu when you want to express that idea of obvious at a glance or just clear straight away. 这个报告一目了然. This report is obvious at a glance. 读者可以轻松理解. The reader can easily understand it. The next Chengyu you'll hear a lot if you come to China or you hear people talk about China, especially during, say, a national holiday. 人山人海. People, mountain, people, sea. So it's essentially just describing a huge crowd of people. It can be either positive, like, yay, there's lots of people, it's lively here, or negative, saying it's overcrowded, there's too many people. 节日市场, 人山人海. So 节日 is holiday, 市场 market. So during the holiday, the market is 人山人海. It's just full of people, absolutely packed. 气氛, the atmosphere, 非常热闹. Chinese people love to use that word, 热闹. 热闹 is like lively, exciting. In fact, 热闹 is often used to describe the idea of watching someone have some sort of drama in a public place, you know, like a couple's having an argument. So you sort of gather around and 看热闹. You just have a look at what's going on with the argument and be a bit nosy. The next Chengyu I want to share with you is 独一无二. So this one means unique and unmatched, unrivaled, if you like. 独 means alone. It's used in words like 孤独, meaning lonely, or 单独, as in to do something on your own. 一 is obviously one, and 无 means none or zero, and 二. So it's saying alone, one, or just one, 无二, no second one, no number two. So for example, 他的创意, his creativity, 在整个团队中 in or amongst the entire group or the team is 独一无二的, is completely unique and unmatched. This next 成语 you use quite often too, 迫不及待, meaning impatient to wait for something or itching to get started or in a hurry. This character 迫 means to urge or to force someone to do something. It's using words like 强迫, meaning to coerce someone, or 逼迫, to force someone. These next two characters, 不 means no and 急 means to reach. And 不急 you'll see in other more common words such as 来不及. The 来 is like to come and 不急 means can't make it, basically, or can't reach. So this 不急 is essentially saying we cannot achieve the next thing I'm about to say, which is 待, and 待 means wait. So it's saying we're urgent and we cannot wait, but it's often due to excitement or anticipation. It's used to describe a strong desire to do something immediately without delay. So for example, 他迫不及待的, he impatiently or urgently looking forward to 想要 wants 分享他的好消息 to share his good news. This next 成语 is going to be super useful when you're making plans to do something with someone. 一言为定. 一言, like one yen means speech, so it's like one word or saying something. 为定. 为 is like to be as or for the sake of. So when you say 一言为定, it's like saying it's a deal, that's settled then. And you'll often say that after you've just made plans with someone. It's a way of conveying a strong sense of trust and commitment to something. So often used in negotiations or in agreements, but also in casual situations where you just, hey, let's meet up on the weekend. So you might say, 我们约好, we have made a date. 下周一起去爬山. Next week to go hiking. We made a date or a fixed time to go hiking next week. And you just add that 一言为定 at the end. So it's almost like saying it's a deal. Be there or be square. And the final idiom that I want to share with you today is one that I use very often when I'm describing learning language, which does come up a lot when I'm speaking Chinese to people because they're like, oh, how did you learn Chinese? And I'm like, well, blah, blah, blah. Here's how I learned. And here's what I think is important about learning language. 你要持之以恒, meaning you have to pursue something unremittingly to preserve your consistency when doing something. So it's often a good way of saying to stick with something in a motivational way, with undertones of being virtuous. So the characters 持 means 坚持, as in to persevere with something, and 恒 at the end means perseverance, 恒心, right? Literally forever heart or long-lasting heart. These other two characters in the middle, essentially what they're doing is joining the first and last character together in a way that makes sense. So 持之 means continue with it, like 之 is sort of it in this case, and 以 is a word that means either with or by these means. So 持之, persevere with it, 以恒, with perseverance, or by means of perseverance. So it's often a good way of saying to stick with something in a motivational way, with undertones of being virtuous. So for example, 只要你持之以恒, as long as you 持之以恒, keep up with something, keep it going, 就一定能, then you can for sure 学好这门语言, study or learn this language. So the key thing about 持之以恒, persevering, especially when it comes to language learning, is to have a good process, a proven process in place that will get you to your goal, and also having the ability to build habits so you can stick to your goal no matter what happens. And if you want a guide on how to do that, I made this video where I describe exactly what I would do if I was going to learn Chinese from scratch right now. Go ahead and watch that, and I'll see you in the next one.